What's up? What's up? I'm just gonna go live. I can't on this setup. I don't have Spotify, so we're just gonna let it ride. How's the audio? It's a different mic. It should be shittier, but not that much shittier. Just literally fuck off in silence. Yeah, I can't even hear it. Literally fuck off. So, ooh, a bodacious bisexual Twitch stream while I'm off desk all day. Hell yeah, sick name too. Audio is good. You're not responding to me is bad. What'd you say? Donde? El teléfono. Also, wait. I said good night, and then I got a like good night, I love you text the next day at like 11:30 in the morning. You didn't respond to me. That's crazy. I sent you a good night text, and I was mid gummy too. The amount of effort that took, I had to type it like 50 times before the words made sense. I texted her good night, I love you, and I didn't get anything back. I'm like, I guess she doesn't love me. Clearly, it's crazy. It's crazy how fast people move on. Isn't bodacious bisexual redundant? Nice one. Thank you, Didi, for the 17 months. Martins for the 18. Brianna for the 18. It's Heather for the 18. And Char Y2K for subbing with Prime an hour ago. It's odd, but I appreciate it. Can I comment a photo on here? Want to post the screenshots? She's busy with her island. I actually have the Switch. I'm tearing up Lily Bay while I'm here. Lily Bay is no more. I moved the museum next to the ocean. You're gonna be done here so unbelievably soon. Okay, so Goo Boy Matt just left me here unattended for work, and apparently he's done with work. If you're texting me now, America, I still can't see it. I don't have my phone. I'll go get it. Wait, America, what part of these screenshots do you think is going to help your case? I said all gummied up, I love you at 2 a.m. And then at 9 a.m. she says I love you. Then she says, okay, now I'm up. We went to bed pretty early, like 12:30, but I was still so sleepy. I've lived with America for like 2 years now. She did not go to bed at 12:30. There's no way. Or if she did, it's the first time ever. 12:30? We just woke up at 12:30. Thank you, Survivor Desi. Oh, I know Survivor Desi would be in stream. It's a Survivor stream. No, you'd pull up. Glad I got out of work early. I'm glad. Apparently, Matt got out of work early too. Get Zach on to spill season 50 cast secrets. So I was gonna stream the day of the cast announcement, as you guys know, that was the plan. And then the cast got leaked like 2 days before, and I was like, I'm not waking up 7:30 a.m. for a cast we've all known about. If it was like an actual reveal, I was like, okay, this makes sense. I got recognized today in Durham. Matt and I were at a little diner, and someone's like, "Are you Cory?" And then they even knew that I went on like a road trip recently. Me and America went on a road trip, and I was like, "Wow, a real one." GP East Side, what's up? Terran stream was fun. What Terran do? Oh, did he wake up early for it? I don't like competing against Terran stream. I would say there's a lot of overlap, but like, is it considered overlap when like they all watch him? I don't know. I don't know exactly the mechanics of that, how that works. But I'm not expecting crazy viewership on this stream. A 12:30 or 1:30 Eastern stream, 12:30 Central. Can't say these are peak hours, but what are you gonna do? Maddie talks BB. BB, thank you for the prime. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the subs. Hey, it's only 140 something viewers, but every one of them is subbing. 10:30 a.m. for you guys, but that's good. We still got the hype train. I saw a confessional of Blue being like, "Yeah, and he better watch out because I'm still on the Cory train." I'm like, "Why are you still on the Cory train? The Cory train does not need any more passengers. We're full." What the fuck? All right, let's break this down. Should Blue have target? All right, do you guys want to just dive into the cast? Because apparently my host is going to be back in 8 minutes. We don't have ad blocker here. So I got a tier list. The tiers we're going to do. We're going to do no brainer. Cool pick. Meh. Yikers. These are the tiers, okay? Guno ad block? No, actually just tier maker. This website was good at fucking over ad block. I'm a crazy viewer, so that should have covered for crazy viewership. I'll reset when I have monies. Great comment. Take your time. No pressure. Quinn did this on stream last night. I've been offline, so hey, this is my original idea that Quinn happened to come up with first. Got it? AZ Cubs fan, dude. It's been a while. How are you doing? I have a whole like section of my tax returns about Cubs fan. I gotta pay the Cubs fan tax. All right, are we ready to do it? Are we ready to run into this thing? Not the college word bookmark. Yeah, there's a lot of high school bookmarks here. Great, and you? I'm chilling. Lock in your winner pick. We'll do a whole stream about that. But looking at these names, first of all, can you guys give me your impression of the cast on a scale of 1 to 10? How'd they do? 10 being nailed it, 1 being none of these people should have been on the cast. Oh, that's crazy, Tom. 1 to 10. 6, 4, 6, 5, 4, 5. Yeah. Part of me thinks they're being a little bit too harsh, the fans on this cast, but I do get it. Like, I feel those feelings as well. Okay, let's do it. So, Jenna Lewis. This, I think, is my hot take. I think this is a cool pick. I think Jenna is a pretty fire choice. I wasn't the biggest fan of Jenna in All Stars, but she played her absolute ass off. Like, GameBot was probably playing the hardest outside of Rob, even harder than Rob, maybe, just worse. And we haven't seen her since All Stars. She's only played twice. If you want that Borneo representation, I think there's a better chance that Jenna Lewis gives us something than like a Richard Hatch, Jervis, or even like Greg, if they got Greg back, who I think maybe at some point was someone in the process. But I think she gives us a really good shot of like, she's going to play hard and it's going to be fun. Oh, between her and Jervis, yeah, no, there's not a choice to be made there. Love Jenna. Also, All Stars is my favorite season of Survivor ever. It's not the best. I wouldn't rank it first, but for me, it's the most nostalgic. It's the most like meaningful to me, and I think of her much more from Saboga than I do. What was it? Pagong. She was Pagong, not Tagi, right? Thanks, A1 T Bones, Alt Bones, 2003. What's going on? Rough take. When I saw All Stars, I hadn't seen the seasons before it. It was the first season I ever watched. So, like, I didn't know how bad the boot order was. You know what I mean? So, like, I didn't mind. She was on Pagong, yeah. All right, let's talk about Mr. Donaldson, the Top Shot host. Curb Your Enthusiasm star. I think Colby is I think Colby is a pretty fun person to bring back in terms of like a legend. Here's the thing. I think a lot of these like old school legends I'd be fine with if it was just them instead of having like 5 or 6 of these people. The only interesting thing about Colby compared to some of these other people we'll talk about who played so many times is like at least he hasn't played since 20. It's been a long time since we've seen Colby, and he is like a Mount Rushmore figure in Survivor, not in terms of gameplay or he's just like one of the biggest names to ever be there. I enjoyed him a lot in Heroes Villains. I think he's fun in Confessional. I mean, he's between I and meh, but I think when I started hearing Colby in the process at first, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And honestly, I'm glad Jerry's not here. If they went Jerry instead of Colby, that'd be fine too. I just think both of them again, like, I just don't. It just feels like a waste of time. I don't know. Stephanie LaGrossa. I think this is a yikers for me. I mean, it's not. Here's no, it's Matt. Like yikers thing is reserved for like maybe just coach. To be honest, I just don't. I loved Stephanie so much on Palau, and then after that, it was just like, okay, what are we getting? What are we doing here? I didn't like her in Here's Villains at all. Guatemala was like a weird season. Like she was good, and she's a huge like figure. I think because of circumstances and how all that stuff worked out on Palau, but maybe I just wasn't around during the time to understand how huge of a deal Stephanie was. I just I'm not a big fan. Also, she's been on Traders and Snakes in the Grass, like, or she wasn't on Traders. She was on Snakes in the Grass, right? Something like that. I don't know. I just don't care. She wasn't the Traders. Yeah, I just didn't remember her. She was very forgettable in that spot. I would have preferred Candace, or like from the Hero Tribe. Amanda was obviously, in the mix a lot. I think Amanda would be a lot more fun than Stephanie. Bring back Sugar. Fuck it. I don't know what she's doing. She's a mess in Snakes in the Grass. Hopefully. Look, I hope she'll play hard. I mean, I think the nice thing about having someone like her and Suri, who like obviously, have been on shows recently, is like hopefully they're still in the mix. Amanda dropped out and Aubrey took her spot. I think Amanda should have had Stephanie's spot. But if Amanda dropped out anyways, we'll get to Aubrey. I don't care for Aubrey. Like I like Aubrey a lot, and I've always rooted for her whenever she's on the show. It's just like we'll wait. But Amanda would have been fun for sure. Coach, I think, is a yikers. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Coach and Ozzy are the two most diabolical casting choices. I think Ozzy is by far the most diabolical casting choice of this entire thing. It's just like for Ozzy, it's his fifth time, and I think he was out of gas after the first three times. Comes back on Game Changers, is just such a non-factor, such a dud. Comes back for this season, and it's like he's not the comp beast anymore. I don't get it. And Coach, I think he had such a good 3-season arc. I was happy with Coach's story ending here. I think Coach is more forgivable than Ozzy because Coach is truly insane. He'll be at least a mess. Yeah, like I can understand Coach because he's Coach. Ozzy, his whole thing was built around being like suave and like a comp beast, challenge beast. And now, like, I'm sure he's still very good at challenges, but he's obviously not the same. He's not Jonathan anymore. Um, hey, he's still suave, according to the videos I've watched. But I could see Coach having fun interactions with people. When I saw him on the cast, I'm like, really, dude? Look, I'm going to be very honest. I am extremely biased against players who played a ton of times. I just don't care. Like, I thought the beauty of Survivor 50 was it would give, like, so many more data points for so many other people. Coach trolled the community into thinking he was cut until a week ago. His tweets are insane. He doesn't even know what an NDA is. Coach will probably say some stuff he shouldn't say. Yeah, and it won't be on the edit. I mean, yeah. Bro has that Cerise 7th game show. It is, I think, 9th. Not even counting Wheel of Fortune, which I won't. But, I mean, she has, 6 seasons of Survivor, Traitors, Snake in the Grass, Big Brother. Is there 9th, normal shows? Suri, I think it's meh. Like, if you're going to have anyone play for a 5th time, I think Suri might be the number 1 pick on the board. But it's, this is no bias against Suri. It's just her 5th time. And it's just, she's a transcendently amazing reality TV character. She's a great player. I think there's a lot of other really great characters who I've only seen once. So it's just like, what do you want? Is he about to place an angry phone call? I think Izzy gets it. Like, I mean, look, I'd like to see Suri do well. I think it'd be fun. I think watching someone play Survivor who I've played with is going to be a cool thing. It's just like, it's her fifth time. We just saw her on Big Brother. Yeah, but like, Price is Right. That's I don't care. So it's not like, look, it's not Suri's fault. And I think what the bummer about Suri especially is like she doesn't have much of a chance, and it's not her fault. It's just like the game design, her skill set in the game. Like she's kind of destined to do well but not win. Feels like it'll be Suri early boot. I would heavily doubt that. Suri's really good. There's a reason she's never an early boot. On Heroes Villains, the things that had to happen for her to get booted in that spot, it was like a vote, split, idle, snipe. Like it was a crazy series of events that got her voted out. But like, and she is connected. I mean, she's played with Ozzy a couple times. She's played with Stephanie. She's on a tribe with Colby. Colby actually went against her. Is there a grudge there? Probably not. Um, who else she played with? She played with Aubrey, obviously. I guess that's it. That's it, really. It's not the craziest list, but she's got people. Of all these old school people, she's played with basically all of them except Jenna. Actually, yeah, literally all of them except Jenna. I guess not really Coach, but anonymous. Oh my god, are gifted subs cheaper in Durham? What a life! What a life! Suri always delivers. Look, I agree. Like, again, Suri's gonna be great TV. She's gonna be a fun presence. She's gonna do stuff that is very interesting to talk about. And that's really what they care about. I think for me, we have so many seasons of Survivor and so many characters and so many players where like there's more than enough people who can provide that level of TV who I'd rather have over Suri. Again, only because we've seen her so many times. It's like I'm sorry, like I'd rather see Marianne play again. You know what I mean? I'd rather see just name someone like I'm trying to think from like recent seasons. I'd rather see Maria play again. Maria would be sick. I'm actually super bummed she's not on this cast. I can't believe they fumbled the Maria Charlie dynamic. That would have been electric. Put them on the same tribe. Omer. Yeah, I'm just naming women though, because theoretically it's Suri's spot. Sydney would have been amazing. And I get like Suri's a bigger character than Sydney and a better character than Sydney. It's just like, I don't know. Alicia? That would have been something. I know Abby Maria was in the mix. I think I'd rather Suri than Abby Maria, but I don't know. I could see both. I think Marianne should have been that spot. You wanted second chances? No, it doesn't have to be second chances. It's just not fifth chances. Like, I don't want it to come off as like, oh, I fuck Suri. Suri sucks. Like, no, I like Suri. I just think like it's a lot of times, man. It's a lot of times, and if I'm her, like I would keep saying yes. Like it's fun. It's not her fault, but I feel like her winning Traders makes Survivor want to keep bringing her back until she wins so she can get introduced as a Survivor winner, not a Traders winner. I think that plays no role whatsoever. I think Jeff just loves Suri. I think Suri is probably Jeff's favorite player ever. It's Suri or Boston Rob. And for what it's worth, Suri's amazing TV. Like it's not. I don't want to like. I get why Suri's on this cast. I just disagree with the casting philosophy in general. Yeah, no, I've heard most of this, Meridian. It's just like it's. It feels like to me, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, if there's anything that's come out about this. It feels like Jesse Tannenbaum and Jeff Probst and all of Survivor production made a cast that we would have been a little bit happier with maybe a lot more new era names, maybe a few less Aussies, and then CBS seems to meddle a bit. That's how it looks to me, because having people like, Charlie, Q, Tiffany, Genevieve, like these people make so much sense, and then you have these people, and it feels like a totally different casting team. I appreciate them doing like old school, new school, I guess. Just it doesn't feel like this was done very intentionally. It feels like they just threw in these old schoolers randomly. CBS wanted Ozzy. That's my impression, yeah. Ozzy, maybe Coach. I'm sure Jeff was down for Surrey. You know, at least you'll see your old friend Jared on the loved ones visit. My buddy. Chrissy Hoffbeck. That's a no-brainer. Are you fucking kidding me? What an inspired choice. Jesse supposedly wasn't that involved here. I assume you mean just in the selection of some of these people, because obviously Jesse played a very big role in casting. But yeah, CBS first people like Ozzy, Colby, and Stephanie. Yeah, I could see that. Suri, I think, was a Jeff pick. I don't know the politics behind Coach, but I could see Coach being either way. Like, for what it's worth, let's be real. Like, Coach is more here than he is here, but I also just kind of dislike Coach and his politics, so I'm happy putting him in the Yikers. But Chrissy is an absolute no-brainer. Like, robbed of her win, kind of. Really, Devin was robbed of his win, but, you know, if you squint, you could say Chrissy was robbed. She's a super fun archetype. I love the no-nonsense, you know, middle-aged woman who's going to play her ass off. I think her or Julie from Survivor 45 would have been a great pick for this archetype, but, like, you really can't go wrong with Chrissy. I've met her several times. She's kind of in the Nashville area-ish. She shows up to a lot of events. She's just awesome. Isn't Stephanie more MAGA than Coach? Hey, stop ruining this for me. Stop ruining this for me. Allow me to be delusional. Allow me to not know things. It's like when someone told me, like, about Cara Maria's business, and I'm like, oh, well, that ruined several seasons for me. It's 50% with the 49 people, though, right? People need to reevaluate this 50% BIPOC thing, because it feels arbitrary and reductive, the way that they do the casting. Be very clear. This is not me saying it's a bad initiative. It feels like they try to squeeze people into fitting that 50% archetype. Like, on our season, did Cameron count as BIPOC? Like, it feels like they have these, like, requirements that they gave themselves that are good, and now they're trying to bullshit those requirements. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's some people on this list who would qualify under their rules. Like, is Angelina a person of color? These are big questions. I don't. Is Jonathan, like, I think there's people who you just wouldn't exactly know. Cameron, yeah, Cameron had, like, he's like 1/4 Mexican or something. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because they count like white Latinos, which, again, I'm not here to do the race versus ethnicity debate. Like, I understand these things are nuanced. It's just like, it certainly doesn't feel like they're satisfying the spirit of what the initiative was supposed to do. He got sued for the requirement for discriminating against white people. Yeah, I mean, look, I certainly feel discriminated against. I'd be okay if they didn't make 50% some seasons but went over 50% others. I think you need to have a 50% requirement just to hold them accountable. Like, giving CBS the leeway to, like, mix and match, I think, is a dangerous thing when you're talking about topics like this. CBS looks at anyone that doesn't select white, not... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Angelina is a no-brainer. So glad Angelina's back. I mean, what the fuck? We've been dreaming of this day forever. Since they said they were not doing returnees anymore after 40, it was like, well, shit. We lost our chance to see Angelina again. Just a certified star. A unique kind of character, too. I feel like there's not that many Angelinas. Kind of the Courtney of her time. Very different, to be fair, but, you know, a little bit. But yeah, this is just an absolute inspired choice. The lockiest lock of all time. And I'm glad they went with so much David versus Goliath, because we'll just talk about Christian, who's here, and Mike White, who's a no-brainer. All like, the 37ers are just, there's no one like him. I mean, Christian, I think, is, after his first season, I never felt more confident in my life that anyone would come back to Survivor. It was him and like Dominic kind of back to back. I was like, okay, these are the returnees I want to see desperately. Also, I know Christian quite well. I podcast with Christian. I played games with Christian. I'm pretty pumped about this. He's definitely top of my list in terms of who I'm rooting for. Davey robbed. I get it. I like Davey. I think I would take these three over Davey if they were scared of having too much David Goliath. But I like Davey. He would have been a good addition. But no, these all three of these people are just so fun, so great. Two members of Final Tribal Council, and Christian got pretty deep too, seventh, I think. I'm just so happy. All these are my four people I think I'm pulling for the most in terms of just like as a fan, because I know some of these people. But would Christian be a first boot? I don't think so. The way he plays Clock Tower, you guys have to remember how he played Survivor. Like, he knows how to tone it down. And he's going to be one of the better connected people on this cast. Christian is very active in the community, going to events, playing games. I think he'll be around. Gabby also should come back. I love Gabby. I just don't think there's space for her on this cast with Christian, but I love Gabby. And then Mike White, I think, was one of these people who you never expected to come back, but then you hear it. I think this was one of the true surprises on the cast for me that I was like, oh, that's awesome. Just someone who's hilarious and confessional, a good player, got close to winning but didn't. That's like my exact archetype I want to play again. I love this. I think Mike is a great choice. My dream, like my casting philosophy for this kind of season is like people who play hard, have unfinished business, got close to the win, didn't get it. That's good for me. I just want people who really want it and will play their ass off to get it. Worried about people sucking up to Mike. I think that's a very overrated concept. You know what I mean? I think people might be not starstruck, but like definitely give him a little bit of respect. But you know, I have seen White Lotus. I've seen seasons 1 and 2, not 3 yet. I liked 1 more than 2, but I like both of them. My problem with White Lotus is like I feel like they use cringe as a device, like a narrative device, and I hate watching cringe. Like I get so uncomfortable watching some of these episodes. But yeah, I mean, all the David versus Goliath picks. There's 5 other people from that cast who should also be on this season, but I think they picked a good 3. Aubrey, I think it's the same. It's the same thing. Like I like Suri and Aubrey as casting choices in general, but like Aubrey especially, she started playing season 32, and this is her 4th time. It just feels like a lot of Aubrey. And there's just other people in that archetype. Like I'd rather see Gabby in this spot. Like Venus, obviously. I don't know if she was ever really in the mix. Marianne, and I'd rather see Rachel, to be honest. I think Rachel in Aubrey's spot would be better for me. Amanda, of course, if Amanda wasn't replaced. But I think it'd be fun to see Rachel here again. Sydney would have been good too. Yeah. Carla. I mean Shan. There's a lot of people who I'd prefer, but I like Aubrey. I'd be rooting for her. I know she's a Big Brother fan, or like she watches, which is cool. And I'd be very happy if she did well. It's just like it's her 4th time, and I don't think anyone should be on for a 4th time on this season. If it's gonna be someone, I'm fine with it being her. I think the fact that we've seen her so recently, like 34, just I don't know, 4 times in an 18 season window. Yeah, I mean they've done worse things before. Like Russell played 3 times in 4 seasons. Like it's not that crazy, but it's not like Suri where she started at season 12. Rick Devens. I mean, this is where I expose myself to be what I am. I like Rick Devens. I think he's an overhated person because he played an annoying game that was bullshit. I just don't like his edit was annoying. He was forced down the audience's throat, but dude plays hard, seems like a good guy. Is a good confessionalist. I think a fun presence on the show. I don't exactly understand the hate. Is it just he's a Jeff Probst pet? Is that the hate? It's a shitty season. the news bit was cringe. It's you know how it is in these shows. You have your thing in casting, and they have you do it on the show. Like it's fine. I didn't mind it. I liked Evans. I thought he was a no brainer to return. It's because of the edit. I mean, look again. That's not on him. I think on the season with this many big characters, if he gets that same edit again, that'll be annoying. But in terms of like, he was the star of his season, 100%, top to bottom. He was the star. So I don't have a problem with him, coming back in this spot. I think it's fun. Yeah, this is my friend Matt's setup. He's got a good stream setup. I got 2 monitors. I got a mic. Well, this is actually my mic, but mic, keyboard, everything. He's a bad player. Should I try to sell as a good player? I mean, he's a idol merchant. Like he's not a, he's okay. He's not a good player, but finding idols, he gimmicked his way pretty far. It's fun. Gunning the people who co-hosted on fire. That's good. All right, let's keep it going. Jonathan Young. I'm between Cool Pick. I think he's just if you're gonna cast this archetype, he's the one to cast. To be fair, he's only played once. I like that he's from the early 40s. He's the only one. And he's just the biggest physical person on the entire cast. He might be the biggest physical freak in Survivor history. I think it's fine. He plays hard, too. Like Zach told me, because I asked Zach about this. I'm like, is Jonathan, like, what's the deal with Jonathan? Like, is he really, he's like, yeah, he plays. He's not like a master strategist, brainiac, but he plays hard. I just think, like, if you're going to cast this archetype, I'm fine with Jonathan. And it's also only a second chance, which I'm predisposed to. I like that. Omer robbed. Yeah, that was one of the most egregious choices of all time. How's he the only representation 41 to 44? It's pretty insane. Because there's a lot of people who seem like no-brainers. My read on things is Survivor 41, I think, is just not a season that Jeff likes. I don't think he likes Shannon Ricard. I don't think he liked the nature of that season and things that went down on the island. I think they just don't like it. 42 surprises me. I mean, Marianne was certainly in the mix, and Omer was certainly in the mix, and like there's enough people there that would have been great choices, so I don't know what they did there. No Jesse is insane. I think Owen even would have been fun. And then 44, I think Carson would have been on this cast if not for him doing all his stuff. But he definitely screwed himself there. Which I don't even blame him for, dude. Like, you shouldn't live your life trying to posture for your next reality TV opportunity. A ton of 41 went on the challenge. Oh, I guess USA, yeah. And then, maybe 1 or 2 other people. Cody would have been an underrated pick. I just think, like, Cody without Jesse would be a little bit, I don't know. I haven't seen enough complaining about the Caleb snub. The Caleb thing's weird, though, because I feel like Caleb was... And I love Caleb, dude. I'd be so down for him to be on this cast. It was almost like over-discussed for what he did on the show. Like, he was a super early... Like, he was the first jury boot, right? And then, like... He was just, like... They talked about him being a super nice, charming guy. And he is a nice, charming guy. And he came off that way. But, like... Him being considered, like, a lock for 50, I always thought was odd. Like, the show was certainly, like, propping him up to be this big character. It just, like... It didn't feel... as obvious to me as it did for other people. Jeff doesn't like people going on traders. Suri's the excuse. Suri's the exception. D. Yeah, D's a no-brainer. I mean, she's probably the best player of the new era. Who else is in that running? Like... Charlie and Kyle. Charlie and... I mean, who else is even in the mix there? I don't think there is another person. Could you have done without winners? I'm fine with winners. I like having some winners in the cast. I just like... If you're going to go for a winner, I think D is the right choice. Her, Kyle, Omer. Yeah, I just think, like... If we're doing this new era All-Stars, throw the queen in there. But I'm fine with D being on. I think it's a great choice. She's like a Survivor legend, and she played only a couple years ago. So I'm down to have more data. Rachel, depending on how you think of her game, I don't think that's a defendable opinion. I like Rachel. I think she's probably a better player than her winning game showed, to be honest. But, like, based on what we saw, I don't think there's a way to make that argument, really. And even Charlie, like, I think you can make the case of, like, he got screwed with the Maria vote for sure, but even still, like, if he's relying on a 4-4 tie, it's not ideal. But I think jury dynamics are more out of players' hands than we'd like to admit. I saw that with the Big Brother discussion, too. I think people often have quite a bit of trouble realizing that, like, sometimes it's not all in the players' hands. Sometimes juries just do jury things. Also, yeah, I don't think Rachel's overrated. I think she's properly rated. I don't want to go on the overrated spiel again. Everyone except Jenna would use him as a shield. Oh god, Jenna Lewis targeting the winners again. Oh, we are cooked. Oh no, I didn't realize. We are in trouble. Winner should be fine for a while. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Carolyn said that her plan was to target all the 48 people, so she might pre-gaming with anyone. I think Carolyn, in a lot of ways, was pre-gaming in her own head. I don't know if people took her seriously, because apparently she was running around like a maniac in the preseason. Like, so I don't know if a lot of her words have stuck, necessarily. Exactly, Butcher. Like, I think... So, like, I trust that Rachel is probably even better than her game, even though she won, but it's not, we didn't see it. Okay. Emily Flippin. I think it's a cool pick. I don't know if it's a no-brainer, because I think Emily had such a strong start to the season and then became a pretty standard good survivor player. But I'm happy she's back. I think it's a good pick. I mean, I like Emily a lot. And she was, a star of her season. It was a great season too. No-brainer. I, I don't know. For me, it just doesn't hit the same as a no-brainer, but I think it's a great pick. I don't. A better pick for me over D. No, I think D's better. I like when there's like people who are legends of the game and then they come back to build their resume. Like I want to see a second game from D. So I think I'm higher on that than other people would be. Hoping for Jake to get on. He would have been fun. Charlie. I mean, look, I'm biased. This is a no-brainer for me. Look, I understand. So here's the thing about Charlie. Like, I think a lot of people criticize Charlie for like being somewhat boring and like the Taylor Swift stuff and whatever. But like, I really like how normal Charlie is. I think he's a great like voice of the audience. You know what I mean? And I think I'm able to identify with a lot with him. Maybe it is because I'm like a white dude who's going to law school. Like maybe that is a me thing, but it's my list. Fuck you guys. But like, I think he's a great narrator because he feels like a viewer in a lot of ways. He doesn't seem like Coach, this crazy dynamic character. The Taylor Swift stuff, again, that's not on him. That's production. Like, that got him on the show, and then they keep feeding it. Like, whatever, it's fine. And I think the point is after his season, I swear there's not been a survivor who's been more discussed than Charlie since then. Like, over that span, like people are talking about, did Charlie deserve to beat Kenzie? Did Charlie get robbed? Is Charlie the best player of the new era? Is he actually mid? Like things like that. I think that's the exact type of person you want to bring back. And he's a great player. I think they have the two best new era players, D and Charlie, on this cast. That's what I want to see. So, how cooked will Suri be when he talks to Suri about you? I think he's smart enough to avoid that. Also, I don't know if I'll come up one time on this beach. Who's most likely to bring me up? I guess probably Christian. Yeah, it has to be Christian. I don't know who else would even. Because it's more likely than Suri. You think Marianne's top 5 of the new era? Probably not. She's probably on the 6 to 10 or something. I don't know. Even on Survivor 42, was she the best player on that season? I don't really know. Like, ask Zach. He probably has defined opinions on it. Did it come down to Charlie or Drew for that spot? For me, it's a no-brainer to pick Charlie just because he has more of a story, like more of a reason to come back. I like Drew a lot though. One of the most overhated Survivor players I've seen for doing genuinely nothing. I would doubt that Plaza. Like, when would it come up? I thought Charlie was kind of boring on the show. Yeah, I understand that. I didn't think he was boring, but I appreciated him as like a stable voice, and like it felt like, oh, he's saying what the audience is thinking, and he was also given the space to explain himself. I think every winner deserves to come back and defend their title no matter how they played. That'd be funny if it was like every season, the winner comes back on the next season as the sole returnee. Kind of interesting. I think Maria not being on this cast, like I said, is a total miss. Like, Maria would have been amazing. I'm not clicking on a tweet. Survivor Desi, I've learned. Yeah. See Charlie get Cory flashbacks. Something like that. Q. This is my hot take. I like Q. He also tried to quit the game. That's just a problem for me. I don't like it. I don't like the quitting. Don't like the quitting. I think a lot of people said it was either him or like Rome for filling the same spot, which I understand. They're both chaos agents and obviously fit the same like demographic archetype, which casting cares about that. But I think Q's better than Rome as a pick for sure. But look, I understand if this is a no-brainer for you. I'd say cool. I mean, I don't know. He just had to quit. You know, I don't like that. But he was fun. I don't know. I'm excited to see Q. I think it's gonna be fun watching Q interact with a lot of people. So we'll take it. When compared to Tucker, yeah, I see that. I think I prefer Q to Tucker, but I didn't get to see Q on the live feeds, so maybe that would have been a little bit more exhausting if like we were more exposed to that stuff. Also, the tiers are not ordered. Like, I don't want like this doesn't matter the order of this. Yeah, Jesse, but that's still crazy. He also was upset that like he screwed up someone's plan. Tiffany, I think it's a cool pick. It's kind of similar to Emily for me, where it's like she'll play hard, and what I like about her is she's not anything resembling a game bot. You know what I mean? Like, she gets pissed and gets emotional, parentheses, positive, you know? Like, it's a good thing. And she, like, gets fucking frustrated with people. Her conversation with Bonnie were some of the best of the new era. Like, I think she's a great pick. And her and Q together should be fun. Hopefully they're on the same tribe. I think it was definitely one of those picks where I was like, huh, okay. Probably was not like the first name on my ballot, but I'm not complaining. Is a cool pick. Also, is there a chance that Jag gets her to target Suri? It's very possible. Banu snubbed, literally. Whereas Banu's 50 call? Hope he shows up. Hope he's actually on 49 as well, and he's one of those guys. But I think Jag's going to deploy Tiffany on Suri. So, check out that war. Tiffany's kind of under the radar, solid player that wins these sort of things. I would doubt it just because she played a pretty active, like, forceful game the first time. So, like, I wouldn't expect her to be like an under the radar type player. Her threat level should help her stay under the radar. And, like, maybe it'll be like a Sarah Lucina thing where Sarah had a pretty rough game on Cagayan and comes back and dominates. So it's possible, but I prefer Venus. I'd be down for both. I think I'd prefer Venus, but I'm happy with Tiffany. Genevieve. It's a cool pick. It's basically exactly what I want out of All-Stars casting, is like, got close to winning, is a competent player, is a fun presence on screen, and is hungry to get it done. I have no complaints. I was kind of surprised to see her to be like such a lock. Because again, like, she wasn't like the hugest character. She wasn't even like the best player. But she was good. And she's like a fun presence. And I like how vulnerable she gets in confessional. And I think she's a very unique figure in Survivor history. I think the person I would compare her to the most is like Kim. I don't think that's like a exactly unique opinion. Like she gives me Kim vibes, which is fun. But I'm happy for Genevieve. I think it's a good pick. Good choice. She had one of the most unique arcs. Yeah. Who is the guy's name that she was talking about for like the entire season? Keyshawn, my winner pick. Andy should be on. I think Andy would be fun, but I'm okay with it. I'm bummed for Sam. I think he would have been a great choice, but not quite, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean Andy got far in the process, as far as I understand, which makes sense. He was insane. He was a star. Joe. So you have to keep in mind, like 48. I was following through social media. I didn't watch episode to episode, so these opinions are a little bit less crystallized. But like Joe, I think for me is like here. He's honestly here. Like one of these two. I think my thing with Joe is like he's the type of player I'd want to see again in the sense of like he got really close to winning, made some pivotal mistakes, learned some lessons, is clearly capable and is going to come back with a different energy. But I just don't really like from what I've seen, I don't think I connect with his like the way he comes off on screen. It just doesn't appeal to me a ton. He seems fine. But I think Meh is fine. Camilla, I'm just gonna say cool pick. I think for a lot of people it's a no brainer, but I just don't know the season enough to say she's a no brainer. But exactly, like I mean, she was fire making challenge away from winning the season. Fun and confessional, good player. I think it's a no brainer. And then Kyle, I think is I just because he's a winner. And again, I don't know his game well enough to really like be excited personally about it. Um, But I guess my problem with Kyle is like I just don't think they should have brought back Kyle and Camilla and Joe. And honestly, of the three of them, I would cut Joe, but I think Kyle's the one who makes it the most sense. Like it makes the most sense to cut Kyle because we already have Camilla who hasn't won. She has unfinished business. He has unfinished business and more of a story, and he won. You know, I do like it in the sense of like he's a great player, and we get to get more data. He gets to fill out his resume. But yeah. So this is the cast. Let's talk about the exclusions, the most egregious ones. I think Jesse and Omer. I cannot understand a single reason why they're not back. It is truly mind-boggling to me. Actually crazy. Like I cannot understand it. I'm okay with Say not being on the cast, to be honest, just based on social media. Rob, of course, would have been really fun. I don't hate Rob not being on the cast because I think it just would have created a weird dynamic for the other players. Like, what do you do with Rob? Like, how do you handle that? Because you're not gonna vote him out early, but like, you're not gonna let him win. It just feels like it would be like a very meta, weird thing. Malcolm, I would have been okay with as far as like four-time players go, but again, four times is just a lot for anybody. He did get sniped out of his last time though. Mike White creates no weird dynamics, not in the same way at all. No, I know Desi. I understand. But I'm trying to think who else was like the no-brainer. Like, how the hell are you cutting this person? I would have loved to see Devin Pinto. That would have been fun. I was hoping for that. I don't even know if he was. I'm sure he wasn't even contacted. Malcolm instead of Ozzy would have been a no-brainer, 100%. Sean Rector would have been great. That's it. That would have been an inspired choice. Marianne. I'm okay with not Marianne just because she did at least win the first time, but like I still think she would have been a great presence on this cast. Dominic, I don't care about Dominic after the challenge. Like we got another season of him, and he was a big role there. I just don't. I wouldn't be as excited for to see him play again. Also, he looks exactly like Joe. Davey would have been great. Yeah, he would have been good. Carla and Cassidy. I understand why they didn't go with Cassidy just because of the challenge stuff, but Carla would have been fun. Challenge isn't the same. I understand. I don't know. I felt like I wanted Dominic to come back desperately, and then he went on the challenge, and I was like, I think I'm good. I didn't even dislike him on the challenge much. He was fine, but I'm trying to think other people who I already said Maria. I think would be one of my first picks to be on the cast. I thought she was super fun, and losing out on her is a bummer. I would have wanted Sam. Jam Jam never came up. Weird. I mean, especially because Carson and Carolyn seem to like rule themselves out in different ways. I feel like he would have been a good pick. In terms of like the returning Survivor legends who've been back a few times, is there anyone who you guys were like, damn, they would have been fun to have back? Like they're not doing Russell Hantz. You could take that out. I'm glad there's no Parvati or Boston Rob. I was really thinking we'd get one of them. Um, Sandra even would have been like, come on. Tony or Sarah. I don't need any more of. Like of the legends. I'm trying to think if there's anyone like Heroes Villains or Micronesia that would have been fun. Like would have been cool to see James back. James and Penner, yeah. I think those would have been cool. Party wasn't even called. That is kind of disrespectful. Not even giving her a call. I think James would have been fun. Courtney, if she wanted to do it, would be cool. Amanda. I mean, Amanda, I guess, would be the person who we're talking about. I don't know why they wouldn't go with Todd, though. I think not going with Todd's an interesting choice just because he's got such a cool story and he's literally like a top tier winner. And he's a good character. I just don't get it. I understand like he wasn't on winners and like there's a lot of competitive or a lot of competition for those spots, but on this season, Natalie Bolton, was that a totally fake rumor? I feel like I saw that once. See Todd than Ozzy? Yeah. I'd rather see every single Survivor player in history other than Ozzy. Liability reasons? Yeah, I mean I'm sure there's reasons. I just Natalie Bolton is the type of person who will never get another chance though, because like people just don't remember her. Like we do, because we're losers, but most people. I mean, Lex would have been awesome. I don't even know if people remember Lex, but they certainly don't remember Sean Rector. But I guess he didn't make the cast. So here's what I'll say. Chad, you looking? You just saw this cast. Don't think Big Brother All Stars 3 is going to happen and Janelle's not going to be on the cast. You know what I mean? Like, just don't. Like, when All Stars 3 happens, it's going to be Janelle. They're going to call, Will, Derek, Dan. They're all going to say no. Like, CBS is going to be like, all right, here's the 3 people. Call Rachel. See if Rachel will do it, It's not going to be all new, you know, picks that you guys are happy with. That's why you might get a Cameron on All Stars 3 or something. Like, who's going to fill the nerd archetype, Cory or Quinn? My prediction, Ian Terry for the 3rd time, if he wants to do it, would be their pick. You know? Like, that's just how casting works. Like, there's some people who just stick in the audience's mind. And I think this is the same casting team that would do Big Brother, except, Survivor Production would be Big Brother Production, but it's still Jesse and it's still the rest of them. Colleen declined. Wasn't there a what happened with Elizabeth? Was that fake or did she decline or was she cut? I can't imagine she was cut. Do you think they'll ever do an All-Star season again? Yeah. I don't think it'll be soon. But I mean, I don't think Big Brother is gonna get canceled anytime soon, so it'll be 10 years from now, maybe. She was on but dropped out. Dude, just why? It's not even that big of a commitment for all these super successful people. Like you could make it. Ian was a ghost on All Stars. He's out. What has Janelle done the past 2 times? Like they don't care. They just want, names that will theoretically bring in some viewers, even though like none of them really do. Something like fans versus favorites more likely for BB. I wouldn't like that, but I'd prefer if they did half and half as opposed to like 2 vets. Would you play BB again? Sure. I don't think I'm on the short list of being asked, but I mean, it's fun. Why not? If Mike White has time to do it, everyone should. Yeah. Amanda dropping is a bummer. And like Amanda was one of those people who was like, okay, I don't like. Do we need Amanda for a fourth time? She's not exactly the most captivating TV, but she's like a legend, and it would have been fun to have her be the throwback of the season. The problem is we have like three throwbacks, four throwbacks, and all of them have been on our TV screens kind of recently. Ozzy was on 34. Suri was on 15 shows in the past. I mean, she's going to be on two Survivor seasons in the next year, right? Um, Aubrey was on 34. Stephanie was on Snakes in the Grass and Traders. Like the only true OGs who haven't been back forever is like Colby was 20, Coach is 23, Jenna's 8, and I think that's it, right? Everyone else is way later. Wasn't the rumor she found out Ozzy was 100 dropped? It's funny. That would be some drama. Overall, I think they did an okay job with this cast with a lot of misses. The thing is, like, like ultimately, most of this cast is I to no brainer, right? And of these six people, odds are Coach is going to give us great TV, Suri's going to give us great TV, Aubrey will be a likable presence, Stephanie might be chaotic. Like, this cast is pretty good. I don't think they did a terrible job. I think it's more just like the exclusions feel pretty brutal to me. Interesting. Okay isn't good enough for 50. Guys, what's the happiest y'all have ever been with a returning player cast? Like, I guess Heroes Villains. Like, were people happy with Winners at War? I think they were pretty happy. There's some big exclusions, but like it was kind of hard to screw up that casting. Like, I just think what I do like is I think of the old school people, they picked people who are going to play hard. Suri, say what you will, she's going to play her ass off. Coach is going to play, he's going to be Coach. Ozzy is the one that I just cannot understand. I can't. I met Ozzy, nice guy. I cannot understand the logic. Like at that point, I would rather have Boston Rob. Actually, that's not true because at least Ozzy won't take up a ton of space in the season. But like he's probably the least captivating legend on the board. Like what? Like Penner would have been so much better. Casuals love Ozzy. Still, I mean, I guess they do. Like honestly, when I look at the Instagram, people are so excited about Ozzy the most. So like, I totally get it. It's just I don't get it. You know, I'm not gonna react to it real. Look at the results of this poll. Is this like a Survivor? My early winner prediction. My preemptive winner pick. Not having thought about having winner picks. Maybe this is a crazy take. I'm the first vote. All right, where is Ozzy? 8%. I just think Kyle is in that spot where like he's a really good player and probably doesn't have the threat level he should, and that for threat might even fall more on Camilla. Joe leading is just a recency bias, but I think he could win. I could see it. Also, I don't know. Tiffany's an interesting choice. I think Charlie's going to be set up well too. He doesn't have the stink of being a winner, but I do think he has a huge target on his back. He's a pretty. I think he's very like it's easy for him to lower that target level because of how he conducts himself. Like he's such a chill, like normal looking dude. I don't think people are gonna look at him after 6 days and be like, "Oh my god, we got to get rid of Charlie." My worry about Genevieve is I've met Genevieve, I've hung out with Genevieve. She has such an aura where like she comes off as such a threat. Like I when I hung out with her, I thought she won her season just because the aura. I was like, oh my god, Genevieve won. Okay, well I feel spoiled. This is a bummer. And I think it's just she has some sort of magnetism about her that I think people are never gonna forget her. I'd love to see Jenna win. I love Jenna as a pick. Chrissy, yeah, I mean Chrissy, I think has a good shot too. All right, but that's it. That's stream. Just a quick hour. Just wanted to get my thoughts out because I was supposed to stream 2 days ago and didn't. I guess that was just yesterday, right? Um, I'm gonna be in Durham until Monday, so I'll get back to Nashville on Monday. So probably stream is gonna be on Tuesday. I probably will do one more stream in Durham, either tomorrow, the day after, or Sunday. Stay tuned for that. Also, check out the interview that I did with Zach and Christian about the Genius. Check it out. Get some Survivor 50 talk. Not really, but you know, he was there. You can read his body language. Any thoughts on Paul and House of Villains? Great choice. Paul's a great TV presence, and I think it's fun to see them back. Who's the Survivor player they got? I forget. I just saw it. Play Clock Tower soon. Yeah, we just are traveling so much. It's so hard. It's Tyson. Yeah, I mean Tyson's a good pick. I would not want to see Tyson on Survivor again for the 70th time, but for House of Villains, I don't call the same people over and over again. I like it. Cast looks good. Yeah, no, I was looking at it. I was like, damn, they kind of snapped here. But that'll do it. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. I'll be back over the next 3 days. I'll stream one of those days. We're gonna release this Survivor rewatch, Amazon rewatch tomorrow, which is the merge episode, which is one of the best episodes of Survivor ever, in my opinion. The Amazon merge, so funny. It's hilarious. Um, and yeah, we're gonna do For Real on Monday is gonna be released. So that's kind of the timeline. At a decent time too. Hey, take it easy. But all right, appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye bye. Bye bye. See you.